of the biggest things about FMLA that I wish employers knew is that it it really is a way to find success for the employee and the organization. I think sometimes, you get that FMLA request and it might hit you that, oh, how am I going to? And I just think that it really can be a positive for the employer because it allows others within the organization maybe to step up and learn something that they may not have learned. And so, again, spreading the legacy knowledge around an organization is such a great thing. But it's also very positive. It's just really creating a good employee experience because once that employee comes back from FMLA, you're probably going to have somebody that was very appreciative that they could, navigate what they needed to navigate and that you allowed them the space to do that. It can just really elevate the employee experience from not just that employee, but the other people maybe within that department or cross-functionally as well. So that's one of the things I really wish that employers knew. It really can be a positive outcome, for sure. If nothing else, you might be able to document some of the things that that employee did and just have a better understanding of the workload. So it
Yeah,
doesn't have to be a negative.
absolutely. Yep. And it's a way to show support and also organizational culture.
Most
All
definitely.
right.
Most.
One thing that comes up often for individuals that do apply for FMLA is a reference to intermittent FMLA. Can you share with us what does that mean and what could that potentially look like for an employee?
So when intermittent leave is needed, it's very important that the manager work with HR and the employee to find a balance that meets the employer's needs as well as, the business operational needs, but provides for the employee as well. Absolutely. So employees can take FMLA leave intermittently if the health condition is, serious and requires it. So, what this means in practice is like small blocks of time, such as, either a few hours a day or a few days each week, depending on, the employee's needs. So, for example, if an employee or a family member needs medical treatment or therapy on a regular basis, they might take intermittent leave. This is something that I looked at when my father was battling cancer because, several of us family members were shuttling him to his appointment.
We know when it comes to FMLA, again, for some employees, it may be a one and done. It may be, oh, I had knee surgery, I'm back to work, I'm fine. But it could be something more internal, more cognitive, more to your point, ongoing and long term. And employers are required to assist individuals that have an approved FMLA case with accommodations, and reasonable accommodations is the word. Can you share in your experience or some things that you've seen for yourself? How can some employers, some simple things, when we use that word reasonable accommodations, what are some things that employers can do based on that employee situation?
Giving a space for a different perspective and a different um, train of thought.
Yeah. I think so. Even kind of wrapping back into the FMLA piece, when you are sitting with that employee to figure out what is the next step for them, what is a reasonable accommodation for them, I think it's important, to your point, giving them a seat at the table, asking them what they need. And the reality is, we might not be able to do everything, but then we might surprise ourselves with that creativity when we bring different ideas of thought to the table, and it allows us to be able to take those ideas, those thoughts, those moments, and assist other employees that may have similar FMLA requests in the future. So I think that's an amazing part of your leadership, to allow people to come to the table with different thought. But I think that's a part of leadership in general. And specifically, when we talk about FMLA, is to open that door for the employee to ask, and all we can do is either say no or offer some other reasonable accommodation.
Absolutely. And to add to that point, people have their best solution, their own best solutions. And when they offer what will help them, it's something that they've already seen, they already believe will be successful. So a lot of times I come to the table thinking this, that, and the other thing, and their solution is not only one that they're already going to embrace because people will support that which they help create, but
Yes.
it's a lot less invasive than what I might have thought.
Hmm.
And then they can find their own way of navigating, with maybe less support than I would have potentially offered. And when you can support someone to support themselves, it's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and sometimes to that point, it might be something small. Like we may be overthinking what we think that they need, and they're like, "I just need a private room, to just have some quiet space." So I love that.